less about maybe Hunt, although I'll be happy to answer your questions afterwards, but I want to talk more about who in here wants to graduate and make some money? Anybody? Whose hand didn't go up? Okay, I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's why you or your parents are spending money on this place, so let's get into it. But first, we're gonna have a little bit of fun, all right? So, I don't know if anybody has paper anymore. I see some paper. Morgan's got some paper. But I want you to take out a blank sheet of paper if you have it. If you don't have a piece of paper, just look at the shapes. And if you have a paper, draw all 4 shapes. You got a square, a triangle, a circle, and a squiggle. And I want you to select the shape that most represents you. This is going to be a fun, interactive exercise. So I'm not going to give you long, I'm just going to give you like a minute. So 1, 2, 3, go. If you don't have the paper, don't sweat it. That's all right. Which shape most represents you? Is it a square, triangle, a circle, or a squiggle? All right. You got it? Kind of got it? Good? If you're good, nod your head. People are good? Okay. All right. Very good. Let's go through this. How many of you put a square? Raise your hand. Raise your hand up high so I can see. 1 square out of the whole room? Okay. All right. Let's talk about some of the characteristics of squares. Detail-oriented, dependable, organized, might hate clutter. I love data, procedures, and policies. Is any of this ringing true with you? Kind of, sort of?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of? Any more squares in the room? No? Nobody wants to admit it? Doesn't share your feelings? Okay, how about triangles? Where are the triangles at? Okay, we've got more triangles, at least 3, 4 triangles, 5 triangles here, okay? A triangle, give me the bottom line, right? Confident and outspoken. Who of the triangles love to debate and argue? Anybody? Yeah, Morgan, I think I saw a little head nod there, maybe. Likes to be in charge. Might have a hard time apologizing, might be a little bit impatient. Okay, now we're going to get to the other side. Let's talk about our circles. Where are my circles at? Okay, we got a few more circles. Y'all, maybe I'll be squiggles, I don't know, but storytellers, do y'all like to have fun? Yeah, y'all like to have fun? Empathetic, compassionate storytellers might give a silent treatment when you feel hurt. Might be indecisive. Do you overcommit and say no on occasion? Is anybody resonating with any of this? Does any of this make sense for you? All right, let's get to the squiggles. These are the fun folks. Where are my squiggles at? Here we are. Okay. Multitask, but may not finish everything, right? It's kind of hard in school, right? Brian, what did you raise your hand for?
Oh, I raised my hand because this gentleman just showed up late.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Lots of timing things. But y'all are the visionary people, right? Might have new ideas, might shoot from the hip, got a bunch of plates spinning, don't like to be told what to do. As you look at this list, it's okay if you change your shape, but if this resonated with you, the shape you picked, raise your hand for me. Let me see. Just a few of you? Okay, I mean, it's right maybe 80% of the time. It's just kind of a fun exercise just to kind of get things going. But here's the thing. You were made to be you. So if you're a square or a triangle, you're more detail-oriented like me. I'm going to call myself a sociable introvert. I like people. I like talking to y'all. This is fun for me to be here. But at some point, I'm going to crash, and I'm going to need to go read a book or something. If you're on this side, you're more feeling-oriented, the circles and the squiggles. But I want to tell you that, let's say there's something, if somebody's ever told you you need to work on your weaknesses, I'm going to tell you the opposite. You don't need to work on your weaknesses. You need to maximize your strengths. Where's Christian at? Kristen, if you had an area that was like a 2 out of 10, and you worked really hard, and you doubled that, what are you going to be? Better. Oh, you're going to be better. You're going to be a 4 out of 10, right? But what if you had a strength that was an 8, and you moved it to a 9 or a 9.5? That's a difference maker. So I'm going to tell you all to focus on building your strengths. Don't let anybody tell you to focus. You sometimes have to mitigate your weaknesses, but focus on your strength. And you were made to be you and not anybody else. So let's get into these 3 career myths. 3 early career myths. I changed the title up a little bit from when I sent it to Ruben. Who thinks they got to be perfect to be successful in their career? I used to think that. Okay. The second one is, I don't have to build my network. I can just be comfortable just hanging out with people my own age. I got news for you, John. You're going to have to work with old people like me. We're going to have to figure it out, right? Have to figure out how to work together. Career growth will just happen on its own. My boss is going to see how great I am, and they're going to tell me, and they're going to promote me. I'm going to be CEO within 3 months. Anybody believe that? Let's get into these one by one. And this is a QR code, so I've got a free email course that I did. It's just 5 days. If you want to scan that and put it in your email, it'll send you a free email course. And just with more detail on what I'm going to talk about today. So I'll show it like 3 times, so if you want to pick it up, you can. I must be perfect to be successful. Where are my squares and my triangles again? Like I intend to be, okay? So this is for us, right? Can be for us. This quote says, perfectionists consider a task complete only when nothing more can be done. Pragmatists, on the other hand, consider a task complete as long as it's working. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a story of 2 of my friends. This is my friend Grant Ducote. He's a dear friend of mine. I've known him since I was in 1st grade. His mother was my Cub Scout den leader. We're still great friends to this day. Grant is a perfectionist. If you went to Grant's house, it might look something like this. How many of you like to have a lawn like that? Manicured, perfect lines. I know my squares and my triangles are like in that one. But in order to get it to look like that, Grant's probably down on his hands and knees, making sure every blade of grass is just at the same height. I know for a fact he's built that way. This is my friend J-Max. We met a little bit later in junior high. He's more of a pragmatist. We're very, very good friends, close to this day. And how many of y'all think I had hair back in the day, like you did? Oh, thank you, appreciate that. I did, that's me. Look at that guy. It's kind of nerdy, right? Great head of hair, big mustache. Why is everybody growing mustaches again now? I want to grow a mustache, but it will never look as good as that. And my wife Susanna says, you're not living in this house with a mustache. So I've decided not to do that. But J-Max, who do you think would be more likely just to drop everything and go do something fun? He and I have been fans of the band U2 for as long as I can remember. So last year, we got to go to the Sphere in Las Vegas and see our favorite band. It was amazing. If you get to go see anything at the Sphere, you should just go do it. But that was awesome. Then we got to spend time. So that's me and him just about a year ago. I put this tombstone up because in 2018, my life changed completely. I was in the best shape of my life. I was doing CrossFit. Still had this hair, but I was in really good shape. I got a brain infection going. I found myself in an ICU texting my friend J-Max the passwords to my bank account numbers so he could get my wife Susanna into a bank account because I thought I was going to die. I didn't die. I'm here. So I'll hit that more a little at the end, but those are my 2 friends. But what do y'all say? This is audience participation. What do you think about when you see these? You look at any of the pictures and give me your feedback. Just, John, I'm going to call on you because I learned your name. What do you see up here? What are you thinking?
High school success.
High school success. Okay, good. Jessica, what are you thinking?
I was thinking also success and hard work.
Success and hard work. Good. Anybody else? Christian?
Just your school life throughout the years, like you seem like as you get older and stuff.
Yep. What do you see in that bottom left corner?
High grade.
Yeah, high grades, right? So how many years you've been working to get those grades, and you've been measured every single year based on what grades you get? 16 plus years, more if you're going for a master's degree, that you get graded on by letter grades. But I'm here to tell you, in the business world, perfection is not what we're after. There's a cost to not making a decision early. In fact, I'm going to tell you that done beats perfect every time. How many of you does that blow your mind? It does? Why is that?
I think I'm a perfectionist too, so I can't like I have to have everything signed away.
Yep.
If it's done, even if it's done, I still look for it and stuff, and yeah, I just can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're always thinking perfectionists like me. We're always thinking we can make it better. But I'm going to tell you, done beats perfect. So, what are some ideas? And again, you can get more about this in the email course if you want to see it. But these are some ideas on how to counteract perfectionism. The first one is create a rough draft. And I know a lot of y'all pulled paper out of your bags. I know you're used to your phones, and it's easy to take notes on your phones, and I do it too. But sometimes paper works if you just need to work out a problem. Create a rough draft on how you might solve a problem. And here's a little trick. Set it aside, come back to it the next day. Hopefully you're not cramming for a test, right? But I did that. I remember staying up all night working on a test. The second idea, we got any athletes in the room? Okay, what do you do?
I just love a lot of lifting, yoga, and running.
Lifting, yoga, and running, right. So were you good at that right when you started?
No, it's about consistency, and if you just do it for a long time, it gets better.
Yeah, so consistency compounds, all right? That's great. Any musicians in the room? Yeah, you're an athlete? Musician?
No,
Okay, what do you do?
track and wrestling.
Okay, track and wrestling. So what's your experience with practice? Okay.
That's what the coach always
Practice makes perfect, okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, that could be I know we're talking about perfection, but maybe another way, and not the correct grammar way to be stated, more perfecter, right? You get better and better and better the more you practice. So even 15 to 30 minutes of consistency every day on something you want to get better at will compound. The third one, who has a hard time asking for help? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, over here, one honest person. I did, or sort of, kind of, sort of. Yeah. You can learn something when you're on a new job. There's no way you can know everything. I was talking to an engineer the other day, and she was upset because she didn't know how to do a certain thing that people like me have been there for 20 years. Just ask me, I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you get over the hump. But you can learn 3 times faster if you ask for help. So here's myth number 2. And y'all stop me if you have a question. We'll have some more time for that at the end. I don't have to build my network. How many of you don't want to build your network, or just think you can just hang out with people your age when you're in a job? No, what do you think, Morgan?
Actually, I have trouble breaking away from work and then like going to the water cooler and hanging out with people while I'm at work.
Okay.
But I saw people do it at every job I've been at, and they usually excel
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
their job and in their careers further than I have,
Yeah.
because they made friends with senior people while I'm working.
Right, and we'll talk about, this is key in a minute. So maybe a senior person seems like a high bar, but we're gonna talk about why it makes sense to network with people just a couple levels above you, okay? But it may be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. So why should you build your network? And we already talked about this a little bit, comfort level, networking outside your age group. Networking matters because you can fast forward your learning curve. You may meet the person who's going to introduce you to your next job at the water cooler. Do they still have water coolers? They don't in my house, it's usually bottle fillers, right? I have a friend, colleague at work, and he says, you're always interviewing for your next job. Yeah. And just to get, I'll pause here a minute. What kind of career do you all want to go into? I mean, just people shouted out or what's that?
Oh, counseling.
Counseling?
Counseling.
Accounting. All right, accounting. What else? Over here, this side. Somebody. Cybersecurity. Okay, over here.
Operations management.
Operations management. Yeah, I know some people I can connect you with. Over here, yeah, John.
Data analytics.
Data analytics. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So might it help you to meet somebody who's done data analytics, cybersecurity, accounting, and there's a couple levels above you that you could learn from. You think that would help? Yeah. Find trusted sources, because I'm gonna tell you that going it alone, y'all, is not gonna advance your career, okay? I'm gonna pause now and ask if there what questions you have. We good so far? How we feeling? Yes.
I guess it's just for, when was, like, how old were you, or how long were you in the business when you realized how important building a network was? Like, was it, you knew it as soon as you got in business, or like, you know,
Yep.
because I know that some people are like, I gotta do it now,
Yep.
you know, because I'm 36, I'm just sort of gotta do that now. So, like, what was your experience with that?
Yeah, what's your name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, I was older than you before I learned the value of it. Yeah, it's never too late. It's never too late to become what you can be, what you're destined to be, okay? So I would just say it just takes intentional action. Over here, what was your name? Liam, like Liam said, consistency compounds, right? So it's never too late. I was older than you when I learned the value of that. I was more of, I'm just gonna do the work, and they're gonna see, Christian, how great my work is, I'm gonna be promoted up the ladder. It doesn't work that way. Let's keep going. So how do you build your network? Start with somebody one or two. Why would it make sense to start with somebody one or two levels above you instead of trying to get a meeting with the CEO? Can I call on somebody over here? Anybody have a thought? You, sir?
You're not gonna have much connection to the CEO.
Okay, not much connection. What's your name? Brandon? Okay, yeah, good thought, Brandon. You're not gonna have much connection. What's another thought on why somebody one or two levels above you might be better than the CEO? Yes,
I think
Liam?
your expertise in what you're doing now might can make it better, and I think it's better and it builds your like credentials a bit more as you go up.
Okay, good. Building your credentials as you go back here.
I think, since they're closer to where you were.
Okay,
that was like,
yeah, tell me your
it's
name.
more fresh on their mind, I guess.
What's your name?
Cassandra?
Sandra, yeah.
Cassandra.
Cassandra, thank you. You nailed it. You nailed it. And all these answers are good, but they're closer to the work that you're doing, and they're a couple levels above, so they can help you get better. This is a picture that I took. This is a really old guy. He's 77. It's John Maxwell. I got certified for coaching, speaking, and training about a year ago, and took this picture at his conference in Orlando just about a month ago. And he's written 90 leadership books, but he has 7 networking questions that are just gold. Okay, and I'm going to share them with you. John says leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. So how many of you think that being a leader means I got to be leading a team of people out of the gate? That was my thought when I started my career. Is that what you think? Yeah, that'd be pretty typical. It's not. You can have influence. You can build influence early on. So John says, if you're able to sit down with somebody, what would be some ways to connect with somebody, say 1 or 2 levels above you? Give me some thoughts over here. What would be a way? Not necessarily the questions, but what would maybe you want to ask for the time, right? Maybe you want to buy them a cup of coffee, buy their lunch. But ask that person, what's the greatest lesson you've ever learned? Because then you're tapping into their experience, right? And they get to talk about their experience. Again, you're talking about fast forwarding what you're learning, right? You can learn from what they learn. What are you learning now? Leaders are learners. You want to lead people? You don't have to lead people to be a leader. You might want to be excellent as an individual contributor. But you got to be learning, always. Ooh, this is big. All right, who likes to fail? You like to fail? Okay, tell me why.
It teaches you how to do something. I know that's not the time as I said, but I like to think of myself as a second chance person. I never get it on the first time. I always choose wrong, but I always get it right pretty close to the second time. So I love to fail because typically people tell me how I fail, how I can get better, and so I end up learning more. So if I'm successful at first, usually what happens is I miss out on the nuances and the back roads that cover an entirety versus when you fail, you take the wrong route, you know, and then you end up learning more about a city versus just a suburb.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. That's excellent. You're going to fast forward your learning when you fail. Who enjoys failing? Anybody in this section enjoy failing? No? Nobody enjoys failing? No? You do? Oh, okay. Talk about it. Okay. Okay, learning what you did wrong and go forward, seeing it as a point of growth. Y'all are ahead of me when I was your age. All right. How has failure shaped your life? Oh, this is a big one. Okay, so you met with somebody a couple levels above you. Who do you know that I should know? That'd be a network builder, wouldn't it? Who do you know that I should know? That can expand your network. All right, I know y'all aren't gonna like this because I talked to my engineers at work, and they're like, God, I don't have time to read. I don't have time for that. We'll get into that. Hang on to that thought. We'll get into that here. But leaders are readers. Just like Liam talked about yoga and working out, and we got wrestling and track over here. If you want to build yourself, you need to be mentored by people you will never meet. And I have ideas on that I can share with you. What have you done that I should do? That's an experience thing. What have you done that I should do? Oof, can learn a lot from that. And then this is the most important one. How can I add value to you? I'm hoping y'all are y'all getting any value out of this? Anybody? Anybody? There's a survey at the end, so you can tell me the truth. I appreciate the truth because I'm trying to get better. But I love this quote by Lewis Howes. One of the most powerful networking practices is to provide immediate value to a new connection. This means the moment you identify a way to help someone, take action. Take action. Jessica, if somebody helps you learn the ropes a little bit and gives you a leg up by you asking these questions, you find a way to help them quickly. Okay? All right. How are we doing on time? I think we're pretty good so far. I think we're good, Ryan.
We are.
Any thoughts on network? I don't know why Siri's talking to you. Any questions on networking? I don't want to change that one. Anybody? Are y'all normally this quiet? Yeah? Okay. Christian? Any thoughts? No? Okay. Career growth will just happen. Who thinks that, and some of y'all have worked a little bit, you know this, right? But like, who thinks they're just gonna, my boss is gonna see how great I am, and they're just gonna promote me? It'll be great. I'll be the CEO in no time. I hired one engineer, and he thought that he wanted to be a people leader within 6 months of joining our company straight out of college. I'm thinking, dude, you don't know what you're asking for. There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that, and you need a basic experience. But career growth will just happen. Does it just happen? Do you all think it? Okay, no. Why do you say that? Tell me your name and why do you think that?
Diego.
Diego. Okay. Don't want. You think you don't have to? Say it again.
The company doesn't want to promote you if they don't feel they have to.
Oh, okay. Company doesn't want to promote you because they think they don't have to. Okay. Good thought. And we talked about this question already. Everybody in here wants to make a little more money, right? You don't want to maybe no professional students in here. My sister, love my sister to death. She's a professor. My brother's a professor. I feel like the black sheep of the family. My dad's a professor. I'm not. I work in logistics. But anyway, I decided at some point I want to stop going to school. I want to make some money, and so that's why we're here. But who has a career goal in mind? This is a participation point. If you want to share, who has a career goal in mind? What you want to do? I know I've heard some industries, but who has a goal? Back here? No? Were you raising your hand, or are you just stretching? Okay, great. Did you say real estate? Oh, okay, commercial real estate. That's great. Somebody else? Yes. A CFO, okay, financial wizard over here, I love that. Big goals, I love it, yes, sir.
I want to eventually get into the GM position at the facility that I'm at right now.
Okay, so you're working already, you want to be in the GM position, okay, okay, very good, very good. What do you all think it'll take to reach it? What would it take to be a GM?
Honestly, from my experience and the people that I have there at work, you need a good mentor, sponsor,
Okay.
a good sponsor, somebody to help you, somebody within, and you gotta be willing to take criticism, take it, learn from it, especially in those interviews that you don't get, take what they give you, learn from it, come back,
Yep.
do it again.
So having a mentor, being inquisitive, improving yourself, did I kind of get that? Yeah, it's good. This is another John Maxwell, the assumption gap. I assume I'll grow automatically. I'm just gonna grow, I thought that, y'all. I thought I was gonna grow automatically. Didn't happen. So as kids, what happens? Our bodies grow automatically, don't they? You know? I mean, you saw what I looked like back then. So anyway, we grow automatically. As adults, I didn't improve just simply by living. And we'll get into this here in a minute, but that tombstone you saw and that life-changing experience where God almost took me home, that changed my life. We don't improve by simply living. After you graduate, you got to take ownership over your growth. It's you. It's on you. It's on nobody else but you. You got to take ownership. No one will do it for you. You must own it.